This show is brought to you by Loud and Opinionated.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Loud and Opinionated Football Podcast. I am not Paul Rubidoux. I am one of the hosts, Jake Williams. And we actually plan to record an episode on January 12th, 2019. But Mother Nature had other plans. We're coming to you from Des Moines, Iowa. So there was a lot of snow, as it happens in the Midwest. Sometimes I question why I live here because of all the snow, but that's not the point. I'm the only one that has the equipment, so I'm the only one that gets the opinions this week. So suck it, other hosts. In all seriousness, we did not want to put any of the other people, I did not want any of the other hosts to be put in danger, so I said, you know, if you can't make it, you can't make it. I totally understand. The weather is just not going to cooperate with that. So to keep the content rolling, rather than give you a full episode, I'm just going to be giving you the reactions to the games that are played today, January 12th, 2019. And if this goes as well as I hope it does and goes as planned, I will give the reactions to the games tomorrow. And let's get it out of the way. The first game to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think I came in with the same expectations I do every single time the Kansas City Chiefs are in a playoff game, home or otherwise, bye week or otherwise. There is this weird monkey that is on the Chiefs' back every time they enter the playoffs. And I'm someone, whenever I talk about football, I've always said that no matter what you do, granted, it takes the right coach. It takes the right situation. It takes the right coach. It takes the right players. But a team over time develops an identity that they almost can't shake. And I've made examples out of this. I think Tennessee Volunteers, I've picked on them for years because I've never bought into their hype. I've always thought they do the same thing. They have a few good games, and then the rest of their schedule shows them that they're not as good as everybody thinks them to be or intends them to be. For a while, it was Georgia, and then they fired Mark Richt, and then they got Kirby Smart. But I'm not sold on Georgia just yet after the botches they've had the last few years. And I'm done talking about college football in this segment. So the idea is the Kansas City Chiefs, no matter what they would do, they would always find ways to screw it up. Whether they'd be a top seed like they are this season and be at home, or whether they would be in the wild card. They would screw it up. I mean, even look at their opponent today, the Indianapolis Colts. This is a team that the last time they played them in the playoffs, they had a 28-point lead going in the second half. And then Andrew Luck threw for 314 yards and 3 touchdowns in the second half and won that game. So today's game was very surprising to me. I was shocked. And I understand that all those other times that the Chiefs lost, it isn't this team. But to be fair, the Chiefs have had really good football teams in the past get to the playoffs and botch it. And, you know, there's also the argument that they were going up against, guys like Peyton Manning. There's the Tom Brady era. There's still legendary quarterbacks that were going up against them in the conference. And I understand those comparisons. But at the end of the day, it's kind of hard not to believe going into this game that Kansas City was going to screw it up. And I said the same thing about the Cowboys last week, and the Cowboys proved me wrong. They're the only game that I missed. I went 3-1 in the predictions last week. So the identity politics of the NFL, if you will. That's what it'll be, the identity politics of the NFL. I shouldn't be, just making assumptions based on these teams' records, That's not right. So I was very surprised. Patrick Mahomes continues to show me how great he really is for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not just the team in general, but this fan base, because he is legitimately giving the Chiefs kingdom. I think that's what they call their fans. I know that's a thing they use on Twitter. I know it's the thing they use for their stadium. Is that really what they call their fans? Chiefs fans, please let me know. But what he has done for that organization is unbelievable because he has given them so much hope. Going into this game, he, in my mind, absolutely deserved to be considered the MVP. He's had one of the greatest statistical seasons that you can have as a quarterback. I think the only other I get, maybe Drew Brees. But, 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, getting a number 1 seed, and winning a playoff game, I think there should be no question. I think it should be Patrick Mahomes as the MVP. And for me, what he's also done is he's made me a believer. Because I thought he had a great season. I think the Chiefs, the last few years, it is hard to believe that the Chiefs wouldn't be a playoff team consistently. They have made a great team. They had, until the video, but they had, Kareem Hunt, they had Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They had all the pieces in place. Of course, I don't mean to pick on it. Yeah, I do. I never believed in Alex Smith, and I think the one missing piece was Alex Smith at quarterback. I always said you're never going to win a championship with a guy like Alex Smith combined with a coach like Andy Reid. Andy Reid has won so many games, won all these games, and still hasn't won a championship, and I think that's because of the guy behind center. And maybe that's saying something about Donovan McNabb, too. Maybe it is. But I'm trailing off. Point is, this team is not your daddy's Kansas City Chiefs. And even when they were up 17-0, I still had to fight my urge to play that, this is Kansas City. They'll screw this up. This is what they do. And they managed to not do that. And I think it isn't just Patrick Mahomes. I think this defense is nasty. From what I've watched, they were just... Andrew Luck never got into a rhythm. Andrew Luck never felt comfortable. And this was the year that people thought Andrew Luck was going to maybe win a Super Bowl or maybe go deep in the playoffs because this is the year that he actually has an offensive line. That doesn't matter for the Kansas City Chiefs. They were still getting pressure. They were calling up these blitz packages. They were getting there with just their down linemen. This was an overall dominating performance by the Kansas City Chiefs. And I am impressed that they advanced. I really am. I never thought I would be sitting here telling you that the Kansas City Chiefs are one win away from going to a Super Bowl, which is nuts. But, that's what happens when you get the right team behind him. Watching this game, those are my two big evaluations. Was Patrick Mahomes is as advertised, and he's as good as he's been all season. The moment wasn't too big for him. His first playoff game. And this defense is a championship caliber defense. If they can rattle Andrew Luck and dominate the Colts the way that they did this whole game, that to me says this team is a legitimate title contender. And I have them in the Super Bowl. I had them going up against... I wanted to say it was going to be a rematch of that Monday night game, Chiefs-Rams, but it could be anybody. Anybody out of the NFC. It could be Chiefs-Saints. I think, actually, if I go back to the last episode, I did say Chiefs-Saints. I'm going to change that. I think it's Chiefs-Rams. That's what I want. Because if it's anything like that Monday night game, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that Super Bowl. But all the jokes. I think it's safe to say that we can finally put the jokes to rest. I think that now it is time to admit that the Kansas City Chiefs are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And it's kind of crazy because from what we've seen throughout the whole season, that should have been enough. And I think for Chiefs fans that was, but for guys like me who are skeptic and understand that the Chiefs have done this before. They've been here in this situation. I've seen this movie. I know the ending, but now we have a plot twist. I think I have been converted to someone that truly thinks that when the dust is settled and the time it comes for Super Bowl 53, the Kansas City Chiefs will be playing that game. There's no question. If you look at the things that Patrick Mahomes does, no look passes. I saw him throw a pass to Travis Kelce where he literally curved the football around a defender. He curved the bullet like in the movie Wanted. I've never seen a quarterback do that. This guy makes plays that I don't think are humanly possible in the game of football, and he makes them work effortlessly. So yes, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl. I don't care who they play. Now, if they play the Patriots, I can understand the skepticism because it is Tom Brady, it's Bill Belichick, no matter what they do. Remember at the beginning of the season when they were 1-2 and people were worried, and I said, "Hey, this isn't scary to me because this is who they are." That will be exciting, but it could be the Chargers. We don't know yet. The Chargers and Patriots will play each other. I'm excited either way because we get a rematch in both accounts. And both those games were great, and both those games were worth the price of admission, I guess. But I don't pay for it. I can't wait. I gotta give props. I don't want this to be super long, so congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. You have escaped being a joke this week. Now, if they go out and lay an egg next week with home field advantage in the AFC Championship, then I think we can go back to making fun of them. But for the time being, the Kansas City Chiefs are legit. They're a scary, scary football team, and I would not want to play them right now in the playoffs. So congratulations on beating the Colts, and I will see you guys in, 4 hours to react to the Cowboys and the Rams, which should be a fun game in LA. And make sure to follow Loud and Opinionated on Twitter, @LoudOpinionated. You can follow on Instagram, @LoudOpinionatedPod. A lot of P's there. And you can like us on Facebook, Loud and Opinionated. This show has its own RSS feed. I want to clear up some confusion. I understand that the first episode of this show was put up on the main feed for Loud and Opinionated. It will not stay there. It is not going to live there. It has its own RSS feed. For those people that naturally just found it, thank you. But it's its own entity. It is just a part of the family of Loud and Opinionated. It's all a part of the 2019 initiative, hashtag expand the brand, all that. So, yes, you can get this episode on loudopinionated.com. You can also get it on iTunes and Spotify and pretty much anywhere you get your podcast services except Google Podcasts. I don't know what Google's issue is. I'm trying to figure that out. And when I do, I will make sure that gets up there because I'm in charge of that. This is Paul's show, but I have the equipment and the password. So whose show is it really? Thanks so much for listening, guys. Have a great game. Get ready to watch a great game in LA.